Okay, welcome back. Today we're going to demonstrate a basic foam operation using the standard Miami equipment, which is an inline adductor hooked up to the pump panel discharge with a reducer. This adductor, you can see it's rated here at 125 GPM, so it must be matched with a 125 GPM nozzle, which we have on the other end of the 200-foot jump line, being manned by our fire recruits. If you notice the hose here, this is a standard Miami 200-foot jump line, and it's Pond Conquest 800. Remember, the friction loss in this is half as much as the standard 1 3/4 fire line. For this demonstration, we're using the Pond Conquest and 125 GPM nozzle at 100 PSI, matched to the 125 GPM adductor. It's important that you have the nozzle matched to the adductor. Right? We're going to get the pump going in a minute. We're going to establish a water flow to the line, and then we're going to set the adductor at a 3% eduction rate. Okay, you can see the arrow lined up on the 3. Okay, this is for standard hydrocarbons, gasoline, diesel, that type of fuel. If we have an alcohol type hydrocarbon spill, we need to bump this up to 6%. As you can see, you have to push it in, turn it to where you want it, and let it pop out. It should lock in that position. Okay? When you inspect the equipment, you should make sure that this clamp is in place. This clamp is in place, and nothing's clogging the adductor strainer on the bottom. Right? I have 3 types of foam here from different manufacturers, but they're all essentially the same. You can see this is an alcohol-resistant AFFF, either 3 or 6% foam. All right, once I get the water flowing, I'm going to test and make sure that I have suction at 3%. I'm going to notify the operator of the nozzle that they need to open the nozzle fully to get the most efficient eduction from the adductor, and so we get the proper mixing within the line. Remember, at 3%, we have 3 gallons per minute of foam flowing out with 97 gallons of water. Let me get it started up. Truck is in pump gear. I have 50 pounds coming in on the hydrant. Truck is generating about 30 pounds. Our standard starting engine pressure for a foam operation is 200 PSI. So we're going to bring the engine pressure up to 200. Now I'm going to apply pressure to this foam line at 200 PSI with this control. Once I get the discharge up to 200 PSI approximately, I want to check my adductor, make sure that I'm getting suction. I want to line the buckets up in a row. And I'm going to start the flow. You can see it flowing through the nozzle, through the adductor. Now we want to look to make sure we have foam in the nozzle. that foam concentrate is almost at the bottom. If I lift it out of the foam, you can see it starts sucking air. Then I want to transfer it to the next one. Okay, you've seen the foam flowing over there after we used the adductor. Initially we started with 200 psi for standard starting engine pressure. Once you've got the foam flowing, then you need to calculate specifically what that friction loss is. So in the Pond Conquest, there's actually 3 hose units for each 100-foot section. So I have a 200-foot line of Pond Conquest, which is 3 hose units per 100-foot section. That's 6 hose units. I know that 125 GPM, the friction loss, from my rule of thumb, is 4.5. So 6 times 4.5 is 27. Plus 100 psi nozzle pressure, which is 127. Plus I lose 70 psi of friction loss in the foam adductor. So that's a total of 197. Okay, let's say you're set up and you're flowing water and you're not getting any foam. Okay, first of all, you need to troubleshoot. Do you have adequate engine pressure? Do you have a minimum of 200 psi of standard starting engine pressure? Okay. Do you have a clean pickup screen? Is there something clogging the pickup screen? Okay, that's a possibility. Okay. If this flexible line right here, the pickup line, is kinked for some reason, that's going to prevent the flow. Once you stick the pickup, or once you test it to make sure that you have a suction here and you stick it in, okay, if you still are not educting foam, then it's possible that you may have a kink in the line. If you have the adductor further away than 200 feet from the nozzle, it won't work effectively. You won't have an effective foam concentration at the end. Or if the operator of the nozzle doesn't have it fully open for full flow. So those are the things that you need to troubleshoot if you don't have a foam pickup through the adductor.